Hello and welcome. I am Ashok Rajguru, your tutor, and in this video we shall see how we can analyze this case and arrive at the same remedy as Dr. Jaswant Patil. So stay with me as we do the analysis step by step. The objective of this video are: how do we individualize the choice of rubrics? How do we individualize the case when we have such a large number of symptoms presented by the patient? Therein lies the real art of homeopathy. You will see now a graphic which shows the analysis that you will get if you use any homeopathic software, an analytical software. I have used the Radar Opus using the sum of symptoms and using the synthesis repertory. So have a look at this. I have used every single symptom presented by the patient. There are total 17 rubrics which have been used to describe these symptoms. And as you can see, there are 22 remedies which cover all the 17 symptoms. That's a very large number. How do we go about searching for that proverbial needle in a haystack? Naturally, you will see that the leader of the pack is sulfur, followed closely by lycopodium and calcarea, the trio that represents sodic miasm, followed by phosphorus from the tuberculum and rust ox. So it's very difficult to find. Virtually every major polycrest is represented here. You have CPI, you've got Nux vomica, you've got causticum. How do we now find the correct remedy and arrive at the same remedy as Dr. Patil? First, let us look at the common symptoms of this disorder known as multiple sclerosis. This graphic shows the percentage of patients who come up with these common symptoms. You've got numbness, you've got tingling with as many as 2/3 of the patients. You've got cognitive dysfunction, depression, fatigue, muscular spasms, weakness, tiredness. Almost 50% of the people have difficulty in walking. You've got dizziness with 1 person out of 4, vision problems, pain is 1 out of every 5. And then you got bladder and bowel dysfunction, mainly incontinence complaints. So these are the common symptoms that go with the label multiple sclerosis. They are a result of the disease. They do not belong to the patient. So how do we sift through these symptoms? We need a sieve, a filter, which will leave out what we don't need and take out the gems that are going to lead us to the correct remedy. In other words, we'll have to pour out all these symptoms into a filter or a sieve and then see what are those valuable rubrics which are of value to us and which tell us more about the patient than about the disease. So as we said, let's leave out the common symptoms. If we leave out the common symptoms from all the 17, I think these are 11 of them, then what you are left with are these: swallowing difficulty, not mentioned on this graphic as a common complaint. Constipation, as I mentioned earlier, you have a bowel dysfunction and a bladder dysfunction, but that describes incontinence, not constipation. That belongs to the patient. Aggravation after sleep, no mention at all. Warmth aggravates, not a common symptom. Anxious dreams, and a loss of appetite. So let us take these 6 rubrics and see what we get. Now, for this case, I am using the Bonninghausen's repertory only. That's one of the oldest repertories we have, and Bonninghausen had the art of finding what belongs to the patient, purely using data from Materia Medica and the provings. It's a real artful composition, and one must master the use of this particular repertory for analyzing any case. So let us see what are the symptoms that characterize the patient and what remedy does come up. So here is the repertorial chart. I have used HomeoQuest software, and the repertory selected is the Bonninghausen's repertory. I'll just show you here in larger bold print the rubrics which I have taken are constipation, swallowing difficulty, sleep aggravation, warmth aggravation, anxious and frightful dreams, and loss of appetite. And what I find is that there are a total of 8 remedies only which cover all the 6 rubrics, and the leader is opium, followed of course closely by bryonia and pulsatilla. Opium is relatively a much smaller remedy than bryonia and pulsatilla, or even belladonna and calcarea, which follow in positions 3 and 4. How come this remedy has shown up so characteristically, leaving all the other polycrests behind? So let us see what was Dr. Jaswant Patil's choice. I'm sure you can recognize this plant, and you can see or recognize the people who are cultivating it. Yes, you're right, this is opium. And Dr. Jaswant Patil used opium in a potency of 1 m. Isn't it remarkable that we came to the same conclusion using a much simpler but a more artful method of analysis? That really is the beauty of homeopathic analysis if we keep individualization as our prime motive. Now, let's go back to the chart which we had from Radar Opus. Was it really a bad analysis? Something wrong with the software? Or does opium find a place in those leading 22 remedies which cover all the 17? Logically speaking, it should be hiding somewhere there. Let's have a look. There you are, and I shall just zoom in, and you will find opium at number 11. On either side, it has got large polycrests, sulfur, lycopodium, calcarea, phosphorus, roostox, silicea on one end, and on the other side it has got carboveg, causticum, quina, belladonna, thuya, and so many others. So we were able to sift through these symptoms with a sieve, and what was that filter that we used? Individualizing characteristics. How do we get there? We leave out the common symptoms that go with a complaint which has a label of multiple sclerosis. So the label has only helped us to get there in order to individualize the case. Otherwise, a label or a name of a disease is of little value to us as homeopaths. So I'll summarize what we did in this video. We came to know that the meaning of totality is far more than just counting the total number of symptoms. It is not simple arithmetic, but it is a far more complex process, yet it is simple. Common symptoms are of little value for analysis. Characterizing symptoms lead to the remedy. And the Bonninghausen's repertory is something we should all familiarize ourselves with, because it is able to help us tremendously in our analysis. Indeed, this repertory will only show less than 150 remedies. That is one of the main criticisms against that. But even so, we saw that it was able to leave all the polycrests and find the correct remedy which Dr. Patil had chosen. Now, coming up next will be how the case was managed by Dr. Patil. Did he require another remedy to follow? And what was the justification for that? And what was the final outcome of the case? It's very interesting. So I'll meet you once again in the next video. Thank you very much for watching, and see you soon. Bye bye.